Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. You know what the fuck it is. We're about to take a deep dive into the dark and deadly world of the Chicago drill era. This ain't no game, man. This is real life, real death, real consequences. Today, we uncover the three most deadly assassinations that shook the scene to its core. These are stories about talent cut short, rivalries gone wrong, and the cycle of violence that seems impossible to break. We're talking about Wu, Pop Smoke, Vitz, all gone too soon. Stay tuned as we reveal the chilling details behind these tragic events. This is some real shit, man. Let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about Wu. For those who don't know, Wu was a rising star in the Brooklyn drill scene. He was known for his energy, his dance moves, and his hit song Big Drip. You know, I'm not even gonna front, that shit was kinda fire. But Dot's life was cut tragically short at the young age of 22. It was February 1st, 2022, broad daylight, right in front of his crib in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Dot was shot multiple times and rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead on arrival. Now, the streets were talking. People were saying Dot's death was a result of a beef that had been going on for a minute between his crew and another crew from the same neighborhood. The police never confirmed this, but when you live that life, beef comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? I'm not condoning it, I'm just saying it's the reality. And it's a dangerous reality because it can lead to situations like this, where a young, talented dude like Dot gets caught in the crossfire and loses his life. Man, it's a damn shame. Wu was on his way up. He had the talent, the charisma, the potential to be a real force in the music industry. But his life was cut short because of the violence that plagues our communities. And you know what the worst part is? Dot's death wasn't an isolated incident. It was a symptom of a much larger problem. The drill scene, while captivating and raw, is often intertwined with real-life violence. These rappers aren't just talking about it in their lyrics, they're living it. And sometimes, like in Dot's case, it spills over into tragedy. The news of Dot's death sent shockwaves through the music industry. People were posting their condolences online, rappers were dedicating songs to him, and fans were mourning the loss of a young talent. But beyond the headlines and the social media posts, Dot's death left a void in the Brooklyn drill scene. He was more than just a rapper. He was a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the toughest of circumstances, dreams could be achieved. I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest drill fan. I always felt like it was a little too violent for me. But I can't deny the impact it's had on hip-hop culture. And I can't help but feel sad when a young life is lost like that. Wu's death was a tragedy, plain and simple. It's a reminder that the violence in our communities is real and that it has very real consequences. Rest in peace, Wu. Your music and your legacy will live on. Now, after the break, we're going to talk about another tragedy that shook the hip-hop world, the death of Pop Smoke. Y'all already know this one was big. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe so y'all don't miss it. Hey, so we're back. And we're talking about another senseless tragedy that rocked the hip-hop world. The death of Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, man. Where do I even begin? This one still hurts, you know? This dude was on top of the world. He was only 20 years old, but he was already a global superstar. He had that signature gruff voice, that Brooklyn swagger, and his music just hit different. He was like the new 50 Cent coming out of nowhere and taking over the game. I remember when Welcome to the Party dropped. That shit was an anthem, man. Everybody was bumping that. And then he followed it up with Dior, Meet the Woo, Christopher walking banger after banger. Pop Smoke was on a rocket ship to superstardom. There was no other way to put it. But on February 19th, 2020, that rocket ship crashed and burned. Pop Smoke was renting an Airbnb in the Hollywood Hills, chilling with some friends when tragedy struck. 4 masked men broke into the house in the early morning hours. They shot Pop Smoke multiple times. Can you imagine that? You're at home, you're supposed to be safe, and then some cowards come in and take your life like that? It's senseless. The suspects were later arrested and charged with murder, but that doesn't bring Pop Smoke back. It doesn't erase the pain that his family, his friends, and his fans feel every day. Man, the worst part is that Pop Smoke was about to go on tour. He was about to travel the world, perform for his fans, and share his music with the world. He was robbed of that opportunity, and we were robbed of the opportunity to see him grow as an artist and as a man. It's crazy how life can be here one minute and gone the next. Pop Smoke's death was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people. It showed that even when you're at the top, even when you have it all, life can be snatched away from you in an instant. It made me think about the dangers of fame, the price of success, and the importance of cherishing every moment. It also sparked a conversation about the role of social media in these types of tragedies. See, before Pop Smoke's death, he had posted a picture on Instagram of a gift bag he had received. In the background of the picture, you could see the address of the Airbnb he was staying at. Now, I'm not saying that social media is to blame for what happened to Pop Smoke, but it definitely played a role, and it's a reminder that we need to be careful about what we post online because you never know who's watching. Pop Smoke's death was a major loss for the hip-hop community and for the world. He was a talented artist with a bright future ahead of him. And his death is a reminder that we need to do more to address the gun violence that plagues our society. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. You were taken from us too soon. Your music will continue to inspire and entertain people for generations to come. But we'll never forget the impact you had on the world in such a short amount of time. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about another tragedy in the drill scene, the death of Vitz. Don't go anywhere. Chapter 3. Vitz, silence too soon. All right, we're back. And we're continuing our deep dive into the dark side of the Chicago drill scene with the story of Vitz. Now, Vitz wasn't as well known as Wu or Pop Smoke, but his death was just as tragic and just as senseless. Vitz, real name Jalon Carter, was an 18-year-old rapper from Chicago. He was known for his gritty lyrics and his raw talent. He was coming up in the drill scene, spitting about the realities of life on the south side of Chicago. But on February 19, 2021, Vitz's life was cut short. He was shot and killed while walking down the street in broad daylight. The details surrounding his death are still murky. Some say he was caught in the crossfire of a gang war, while others believe he was targeted because of his music. Regardless of the circumstances, one thing is clear: another young life was lost due to the senseless violence that plagues our streets. And this time, it hit close to home for the Chicago drill scene. Vitz's death sent shockwaves through the city's hip-hop community. He was a rising star, a talented young artist with his whole life ahead of him, and just like that, he was gone. Now, I know some people might be quick to judge, to say that he was involved in a dangerous lifestyle and that he should have known better. But let's not forget that he was just a kid with dreams, aspirations, and a talent that could have taken him far. His death, like the deaths of Wu and Pop Smoke, sparked a debate about the connection between drill music and violence. Some people argue that drill music glorifies violence and contributes to the problem. They say that the lyrics, which often depict graphic scenes of gang violence and drug use, desensitize young people to violence and make it more likely that they'll engage in it themselves. Others argue that drill music is just a reflection of the reality of life in many inner-city communities. They say that the artists are simply rapping about what they see and experience every day. They argue that blaming drill music for violence is like blaming the messenger for the message. Now, I'm not here to take sides. I'm just here to present the facts and start a conversation. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what side of the debate you're on. What matters is that we're having this conversation at all. Because as long as we're talking about it, as long as we're trying to understand the root causes of violence, then there's hope that we can find a way to stop it. We need to find a way to break the cycle of violence that's taking the lives of so many young people. We need to create opportunities for young people in underserved communities so that they have a path to success that doesn't involve violence. We need to invest in education, job training, and mental health services. We need to show these kids that there's more to life than the streets. Vitz's death is a tragedy, there's no other way to put it. But it's also a wake-up call. It's a reminder that we need to do more to protect our young people and create a better future for all. Rest in peace, Vitz. Your music and your story will not be forgotten. Look, man, I'm not gonna pretend to have all the answers. This shit is complicated, but what I do know is that these assassinations are a stark reminder of the real-world consequences of the violent themes in drill music. As the community continues to grapple with these losses, the conversation around the genre and its impact remains more important than ever. It's time for us to have some real talk about how we can come together to prevent tragedies like these from happening again. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of music.